welcome, Grand Rapids.
How about John Cena?
John Cena.
How about Zach in the tech booth?
Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good bell.
Crispering.
Good evening, Grand Rapids. Welcome to NewsFlash. I am your anchor, Donovan.
And I'm your other anchor, Sean. And Sunday was National Toilet Paper Day. We tried to cram something in about that, but previous week was flushed with news. So we've got the top local, national, and world stories you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is NewsFlash.
Ding, ding. Our top story tonight, the government shutdown ended. Yay! And all it took was for 8 Democrats who aren't up for re-election to cave and not get anything that we actually wanted. So, what does that mean? It means thousands of people's health insurance premiums going to go way, way, way up. And apparently, THC products are banned now. That's a real kick in the teeth. Sure, you can buy food again, but now your munchies are gone. But hey, at least the SNAP benefits are fully funded for a couple of months when they have another vote in January. Cool. It's almost like it wasn't worth it at all.
Almost immediately afterwards, a slew of new Epstein emails and documents came out, including some pretty incendiary personal emails. A few of the most interesting takeaways. Trump not only, quote, knew about the girls, but he supposedly walked into a glass door at Epstein's house because he was distracted by a bunch of women in bikinis out by the pool, like a real-life Mr. Magoo. One victim telling Epstein, "I don't want to show up early and have Trump there in your living room." Yikes. Yeah, I'll come over to do the sketchy sex stuff, but only if your creepy friend isn't just hanging out there. Epstein claims that Bill Clinton never visited the island, which I'm sure really let a lot of wind out of Republican sails.
Oh, we can't use that argument anymore. Oh.
And speaking of Clinton, some of you may have already heard this, but in one email to his brother, Jeff Epstein alludes to the fact that Vladimir Putin may have photographs of Trump performing a certain specific act on Bubba, a well-known nickname for our 42nd president.
Whoa! Okay, so obviously everybody jumped on this immediately because how could you not? So many things to unpack here. First of all, what kind of relationship do the Epstein brothers have exactly? Like, hey bro, yeah, what's up bro? Hey, do you know those pics of Trump giving toppy to Bill? Yo, yeah, Vlad's got them. Can he share those with me? No reason. Just a weird thing to email your brother about.
All the pieces started to fall into place. His dancing, his facial reactions, his obsession with locking up Hillary.
Ooh.
I just knew there was something fishy about the name Big Beautiful Bill. So many memes. And all of the internet really came together on this one, figuratively, and not literally, I'm sure.
Right. Now, let's be perfectly clear. There's nothing actually wrong with Trump potentially being gay, besides the hypocrisy that he's, allowed his entire party to persecute the LGBT plus community relentlessly since taking office and doing absolutely nothing to protect them. But besides that, there's some mental images you just can't and never want to enter your mind because you can't unsee them. And I'm sorry, even if Trump completely did a 180 and started bragging about how he's the throat goat now, because that's exactly the angle that he would take if it came to it, we have to concede that if this actually happened, Donald is the kind of pillow princess that gives maybe like a minute of mediocre mouth stuff, doesn't finish you off, and then promptly lays back and says, "My turn," before falling asleep. Hypothetically, of course. I'm really worked up about this, Donovan.
But then Epstein's brother released a statement yesterday that Bubba in question is not actually Bill Clinton. But he did not refute the rest of the email.
No.
So if we are to take all of this at face value, it means that Trump did give oral sex to another man, which, I mean, honestly, sounds refreshing after how often he's named in the Epstein files. At the very least, one of Trump's sex scandals was with an adult of consenting age.
Right.
May they be another wonderful secret, indeed.
Now, Trump, he has done a complete 180 and is insisting now that he has nothing to hide, and he actually wants Congress to vote to release all of the Epstein files because he would rather be known as a potential accessory to sex trafficking than let people think he might be gay. So to whoever leaked these emails, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Not just for actually allowing these files to maybe finally see the light of day, but for all of the memes for years and years to come. We salute you. Oh, it's me again. JRPD is looking now for a man who appears to be 30 hours into a Red Dead Redemption playthrough, who robbed a Grand Rapids marijuana store with a pump-action shotgun. While some are criticizing this man for theft and endangerment of others, undeniably needs to be cut some slack. I mean, if you just got out of Jumanji yesterday, you would probably want to steal some weed too. Especially now that all those THC drinks and gummies are going to be banned. Come on.
The Grand Rapids Bicycle Company held its annual Cranksgiving event on Saturday, where bicyclists race across town, purchase canned food, toiletries, and more to donate as part of a cycling race/food drive event. Little do they know that Chef Boyardee cans will roll to those in need.
Perfectly conducive. A new bakery has been turning some heads. A late-night, not-safe-for-work bakery named Slutty Buns is set to open here in GR this coming Friday. Also set to open the Gingerbread Man's legs.
It's the only bakery where donuts aren't the only kind of hole being served.
Now, I've heard of eating some cookie, but this is ridiculous. You know, I've heard of being caked up, but this is ridiculous.
Now, the outrage backlash has already started, right? An opposing rival bakery will be opening up across the street called Jesus Died for Your Cinnamons. Now, lucky Michiganders this past week were able to see an aurora on Wednesday night following a geomagnetic storm. However, some residents complained about the green and purple, saying, the ads for this new Wicked movie are really getting out of hand.
A vacant Detroit house has exploded last week due to a natural gas leak. I'll just say it. TikTok's fart maxing trend has gone too far.
Ford opened the doors to its new international headquarters on Sunday, along with its modern appeal. Employees can also take home rotisserie chickens for just $6. It's true. One employee said the chicken breasts are a little tough because they're raised for tough.
Pizza Hut sales have declined 8 quarters in a row, and all of the arteries across the nation are breathing a sigh of relief. I mean, my guess is it's because we're all so illiterate now, nobody's cashing in on their Book It rewards. Meanwhile, due to our national discourse, Crazy Bread is being forced to rebrand to Perfectly Sane Bread.
We've been talking a lot about food.
I know, I'm getting hungry.
Let's switch it up. So last month, a cyber attack forced the shutdown of a Jaguar manufacturing plant located in the UK. The cyber attack group responsible is called Gabapentin.
It's a thinker, that one. In NewsFlash news, a new study shows that raccoons living in suburban areas are actually evolving to become cuter as a survival technique. In response, PetSmart has announced their new raccoon section behind the store in a dumpster.
Now, by now, we've all heard about the thieves who stole some rare jewels from the Louvre weeks ago. Now we learn about the robbery, which may have had some unintentional help from lackluster security, because officials from the famous art museum have revealed that the password for the video surveillance system was simply the word Louvre. This is true. The Louvre cybersecurity team has now created a much harder to guess password. Louvre 123.
Now, to be fair, it was also revealed that for certain high security areas, there are voice-activated locks that can only be opened if you can pronounce croissant perfectly. It's a lot harder than you think. I just struggled with it.
I'm not getting in.
Yeah.
After a week of questioning, the Louvre's high security still won't say a word about how the museum's invisible walls fail to protect the jewels.
Yes. This story, it's so full of intrigue and tension. Hollywood has already optioned it for next summer's big blockbuster franchise. Some floated titles include Louvre of the Game. Shows the lead up to the heist, of course.
And what happens when they get away? Louvre it or leave it.
And a character study on the guard who was working that night. Louvre is blind. Now, we've had a lot of fun tonight, but before we continue, a little legal disclaimer. We here at NewsFlash, we recognize the larger political environment, it's devolving into something way less inclusive and an endless he said, she said, they said blame game, and it seems like no problems are being solved, only new existential being created. And that is why after this week, Comedy Outlet Mondays will be taking this changing landscape head on by turning away anyone who does not look like Comedy Project owner Joe Anderson.
That's right. If you don't look like a Caucasian male that is at least 40 years old, then you will not be able to attend Comedy Outlet Mondays or any other show at the Comedy Project for that matter. Able-bodied white men created the system of power that benefits them the most, and we don't want to poke fun at that business. Power, excuse me. We want their business.
Exactly. Right. That's right, Donovan. And given that we just came out of a difficult government shutdown and some prominent late-night hosts have been threatened with their jobs, we want to honor the hard work of these old white men, which is why you will get free drinks if you look like this. Just add it to the government's tab. Well, they are already bailing out banks and auto companies. Why not a small comedy club in West Michigan?
And by the way, the bar at the Comedy Project has Bell's Too Hard on tap for $6. That is the lowest cost in the city, and honestly in Michigan, because usually Bell's goes for $9 in other places. So, newsflash, buddy, get your Michigan beer here before Kalamazoo puts a tariff on it.
Yes. Now, I hear some of you out there maybe wondering, why not offer this relief to furloughed employees or people who missed their SNAP benefits last month or other vulnerable demographics? Well, the shutdown's over now, so they're fine. Probably, right? It's up and running at least through January. So if your job was affected by the government shutdown, like say you're a low-level staffer for someone who works in the White House kitchen or a landscaper for a Capitol building in Lansing, we will now be charging you $36 for every two-hearted beer. Because how can we be sure that you earn that drink through hard work if you don't look like this?